Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back. Today I'm going to show you how to get a nice even coat of paint on a curved surface with spray cans. What we've got here today is an LED fixture. It's for industrial purposes, and the main body of it is a metal pipe. The whole thing's been primed and prepped, sanded and cleaned and everything. And today I'm going to show you how to get an even coat of paint on the curved area, and we'll also kind of briefly cover how to get an even coat of paint in these corners, which can be pretty tough, and the standard principles for an even coat of paint apply, but a little bit differently. If you've ever seen my video on just how to get an even coat of paint with spray cans, if you try and apply that kind of in these crotch areas, if you will, you're going to get runs. So let's get going on that. I'm just using a standard spray can for this, and you'll notice that I'm going to stay just a little bit closer to my substrate than I usually would because it's a smaller target, and I'm just going to move back and forth. And instead of what we did before where we would slowly move across a piece that was flat, it's pretty similar. We're just going to work our way around the thing, overlapping our strokes by 50%. So if you've covered a 2-inch area on this, you're going to move down an inch and spray again, so you cover half of that area again. And we're going to gradually just work our way around this. So I'm going to do one half of it, and then we'll flip the item and do the other half. And of course, I'm also going to spray the rest of it at the same time because it all needs a coat. And after this, I'll be going in with some clear. But what I'm using is just some very basic acrylic enamel here, stainless steel by Rust-Oleum. And I'm going to give this a good shake, throw on my mask, fire up the booth so that I don't have to breathe this stuff. And we'll get started. Now, when I say give this stuff a good shake, I'm not kidding. It's very important that you keep your can well shaken. It's a mistake I see a lot of people make. Spraying in this area where the pipe meets the block at the bottom here, I'm going to go very light. You'll see that I'm moving the can quickly. I'm only applying the paint a little bit. It's very easy to get a buildup in that area that creates runs, so you kind of don't have a choice. You have to do it a little bit at a time. For the flat surfaces, you've all seen how to do that. Same concept, 50% overlap. A little lighter on the vertical surfaces than you can go on a horizontal. Obviously, I'm trying to keep it the same throughout. Now, for the pipe itself, as I've mentioned, I'm doing the exact same thing. I'm trying to overlap by 50%, and I'm just working my way around the pipe, trying to keep the spray angle so that the paint is going as close to directly at it as possible. I'm not trying to glance off it and come at it at a weird tangential angle, because that will cause the paint to build up more on one portion than it does on the other. You're still going to end up with that issue a little bit on a pipe, which is why you've got to be very careful about moving in even increments as you work your way around it. Moving back to the bottom here, again, fairly straightforward. Vertical surfaces, you need to spray a little bit more cautiously. However, they don't get as much dust in them. I'm in a little paint booth here, so I don't have to worry too much about the dust regardless. But nonetheless, I have to be careful about how I paint on the vertical surfaces. Now, back to the pipe. I'm zoomed in a little bit here so you can see how I'm moving the can. If you're going to get closer because you have trouble aiming directly at the pipe, you're going to have to move quicker. If you're spraying from further away, you don't have to move quite so fast. In fact, you can't move quite as fast, otherwise you won't get enough paint buildup. So when you're doing this, in order to make sure that you're getting a nice even build, you need to match your speed and your distance such that you're actually allowing the paint to build up. Now this is kind of a little bit of bonus footage almost. What I'm doing here is I'm putting on a catalyzed polyurethane clear coat over top of that acrylic enamel, which you can do, and I'm using a spray gun to do it. So I've got that wider fan pattern, and you'll see how much quicker this goes on. It just takes a couple passes to do this little box portion at the bottom, and then I adjust my fan pattern down much lower to get to the pipe part because it's so small and I don't need to waste a whole bunch of paint spraying way on either side of it. But again, my pattern is going to be much wider than it was before, wider than the pipe itself, so I can move the gun further with each pass further along and have a bigger overlap. Through those areas where the pipe meets another pipe, or in this case something else, you again have to be very careful not to apply too heavily. So the concept is essentially the same as it is with the can, except you're covering more space at a time. And of course you need to be careful where you put the hose so that it doesn't end up in your paint job somewhere. I hope that helps, guys. Stay tuned. We've got lots more painting tips and tricks coming up. As always, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you got questions, please feel free to drop them in the comments section below. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. I will see you next time. Have a good one.